Thank you for joining us on this 4th of July Sunday. I'm glad you decided to spend this holiday with us. Today we're going to dive deep into the Lord knowing who we are even from our mother's womb. We're going to drill down on there, and we hope that you stay with us. So thank you again and enjoy today's service. Because of who he is. Very few people will know this, but when this world comes to an end, people will talk about what's called the Battle of Armageddon. But the whole conflict is going to be based on because of who he is. And it's going to be what brings everything to a head between everything that is going on in all the world. And that argument we can't stop it. It'll continue. And it's based out of Deuteronomy 6:4. That'll be what will bring everything to a head. And what is that? Because of who he is. Now that he is one. And people, that term offends a lot of people. Because if he's not, that means there's many gods. In other words, there's not just one God. There's other gods. Well, we could say there's little g's, but there's only one G, big G. There's only one creator of the universe. There's only one King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we worship him because of who he is. And everybody's going to be on one side or the other. There will be no neutral. Even Switzerland's going to be on one side or the other. Even Switzerland's going to be on one side or the other. There will not be neutral. You can't say I'm sitting this one out. What I'm believing is when the Lord of Lords comes down, that I'm going to be coming with him. And I'm hoping you're coming with him as he steps on that Mount of Olives and says, all right, people, I'm the one. I'm the one. And the Bible says that every knee shall bow. Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. That's a complex thing. I know it sounds simple, but it's complex. I would rather bow now than, I'm willing to bow later too, but I want to bow now. That's not my preaching. We're just going off the song. Thank you for coming this afternoon. This is the first time my family has been present on the 4th of July. We're always been out of town whenever this date has fallen on a Sunday. So this is the first time that I have been with you. The last couple of times you've had service without us, but we are here. I had already decided we were going to go out of town, but we're not. But we were going to leave tomorrow. But we will be in town. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. When I woke up this morning, I said, I get to be here today. Could I sat it out? I could have sat it out. But I said, I get to be here. I'm glad to be here. And as Sister Maria told me, she says, what better place to spend your birthday but in the house of the Lord. It's also, he's not here right now, but my son's birthday. And Sister Maria's birthday will be on Tuesday. So we have a bunch that are all clustered together. Sometimes that works good. Sometimes it makes it a little challenging. But it's a whole many days of celebrating. As they say, some people don't get to celebrate all because they don't live long enough to celebrate. So everyone that you celebrate yourself, count that a blessing. I don't look at getting older as a curse. I look at it as an opportunity and a blessing. And whatever age you are, you're at the right age. You're at the right age. Which brings us to our scripture. Our scriptures, Jeremiah chapter 1, starting the verse 4 there. You're going to know it because we've quoted it many times. Then the word of the Lord came unto me. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. I know that I have shared this in various preachings, in my different shows that I do. I touch this area. Today I want to focus on it, but it's one of the most crucial tools in my toolbox. It's one of the most important knowledge for me to have in my life. Why? Because life deals us challenges. Life deals us blows. Life deals us setbacks. I could remember being a little boy, young. I might have been 4 years old. And I don't know how other people think, but I just remember my thinking. I remember being a little boy, and I was standing by our sliding glass door that went to the backyard of the house I grew up in. And the thought was going through my head, and I still remember this. Why am I me? Why am I me? Why am I who I am as a little boy? And why am I in this house with this family? And I would think I could have been somebody else. Not that I wanted to be someone else, but that's what I remember thinking that as a little boy. Because I was already wondering, who am I? Who am I? And I didn't understand these concepts of the sense, what is my purpose? But I didn't understand that verbiage, but that's what I was trying to get on as a little boy is, what's my purpose? And I know that as a little boy, you were told, this is what you do. This is what you don't do. You go, I started in nursery school, 4 years old. You go to nursery school. You go to kindergarten, and this is what you go, and this is what you do. Because you were told to do it. There was no reason of why you do something. You were just told to do it without understanding why. Now, you could say, you need to learn to read so that you could read. But as a little boy, I didn't understand the concept. You couldn't tell me, well, you need to know how to read so you can get a job. That wouldn't be in my understanding. But I did what I was instructed to do. As I got older, it became more difficult for me because I needed to know my purpose. And there's many things that I forfeited not knowing the purpose of knowing it. See, if I don't know a purpose in something, I have a difficult time investing in it. I can't, and I'm not talking financially, I'm just talking about my focus, my energy, my emotions to go into something that I don't know the purpose of it. If I know the purpose of it and I can see the purpose of it, I'm a teammate you want on your team. If I know the purpose, you want me on your team if I know the purpose. There's a reason I don't want to engage in nonsense. I don't want to engage in drama because I don't see the purpose in it. I don't see the reason in it. Many people won't understand when someone might disengage from something that what I call fruitless. It's fruitless. And that's what I'll say sometimes. That's fruitless. I don't have the energy to go into that. Or what I might say is, I'm not going in the sandbox, even though I'm getting invited to go into the sandbox. And I'm not talking about Leo, I'm talking about the playground. Because the sandbox could be Leo's area, but I'm talking about the playground, the sandbox to play games. I don't want to go in the sandbox. I don't want to live my life with the purpose of revenge. My purpose is not to revenge somebody. My purpose is not to get somebody. My purpose is not to prove somebody wrong. That's not my purpose. As most of you know, the Phoenix Suns will be starting the NBA Finals this coming week. I have to be honest, I didn't see it coming. Earlier, when the playoffs before it started, I told numerous people, and some of them can confirm that are present, that I said whoever wins between the Lakers and the Suns are going to the finals. And I believe that going in. But I didn't see it coming earlier in the season. But what people have noticed that there's two players on the Suns, Chris Paul and Devin Booker, and what they say is they have an edge on them. They play with an edge. Well, when I was young, they used to call it a chip. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. Well, for me, I always played with a chip on my shoulder. I always had a chip. There's numerous reasons I had a chip. One of the reasons I had a chip on my shoulder was because I was the younger in my age group, in my grade. And when you're younger, the separation, when you have someone in the same grade and they're a year and a half older than you, which some boys would be, there's an advantage they have. Adults know this now, but when I was young, you didn't follow that. So a lot of parents keep their children a grade back so that doesn't happen. So I was younger, so I was smallish. Many teams that I played on, I was the smallest one on the team. I started playing basketball at a very young age. I was the smallest one on the team. So I always played point guard. As I got older, I didn't want to play point guard anymore, but it wasn't because of the small side. I prefer to score instead of pass the ball. That's just anyways, I was small. I was the smallest one. Sometimes I'd be the smallest one on both teams, but I had a chip and I'd go hard. And I remember, my mom will remember this day, I wanted to play soccer. And I said, Mom, I want to play soccer. She says, okay. She took me to the team that was in our area. And we drove up, and all the kids were already on the field. And the coach walked out to the car, and I got out of the car, and he looks at me. And I remember him asking me this to this day. He says, how tall are you? That's what he asked me. And then he said, we don't have any place for you on this team. So I don't know how, but my mom, she probably got a burn. She probably got like, hey, you don't do this to my son. And she drove me to the other side of town. And she introduced me to the coach on the other side of town. And the coach was real nice to me. He says, okay, you could join our team. And what this coach did, and I still remember, he gave every one of us a number, and I was number 10. And he ran us through drills. He ran all the kids through drills. It wasn't based on their size or my size or their size. And then he kept saying, Dion, what number are you? I'll be 10. I can still remember. He write it down. What he was doing was he's finding positions for the players. By the end of the drills, he gave me one of the most important positions on the team, which is called center forward, which is the guy that is most important to score goals. Sometime later, we played that other team. Their uniforms were yellow. Our uniforms were red. All my friends were on the other team. It didn't matter because this little boy had a chip on his shoulder. What do you think happened? We beat that other team 3-1, and I scored 3 goals. So I outscored the whole team. Did I do that one time to them? We played them twice, and we smashed them twice. And I'm thinking to myself, I was 7 years old at the time. I'm thinking, buddy, you missed it. I always had a chip. It happened again. I won't get in all the details. My dad will remember. It happened in basketball. Same thing happened. I was the smallest guy. They didn't want me on the team. I went on another team. I scored more points than the whole other team did by themselves. I put more points in the basket than the whole team did by themselves. They didn't include the rest of the players on our team. And our team were the misfits. Does it sound familiar? I got put on another soccer team when we moved. They put me on the misfit team. They had like a loaded up team, and we were the misfit team. That team was undefeated when we played them. We beat them 2-1. They ended up writing an article up on me in the newspaper because it was an upset. They literally wrote an article up on it because it was that big of an upset. We beat them 2-1. My dad will remember, we went to Shakey's Pizza after, and there was this big celebration. And I remember when I scored both the goals. I scored one. They were up 1-0. I scored one. We tied it up 1-1. And then I remember scoring that second goal. I scored the second goal. We're up 2-1. What I did at that point is I dropped back into defense. And I just stayed in defense and said, we're going to hold them off till the end of the game. Because we were up 1 point, and I just said, I'm just going to make sure they could never get the ball back there and have a chance until the clock ran out. But what happened? I had a chip. I always played with a chip on my shoulder because that was my attitude. And my dad never allowed me to be flashy. He made me dress vanilla, no wristbands. He came from the old school. Everything, your uniform had to be proper. And I wasn't allowed to do what he would call hot dogging. You weren't, he says, and if someone hot dog, he used to say, you want some mustard on that hot dog? That's what he used to tell other kids. And he used to tell me, no hot dog. He knows this because when I got older, I started hot dogging because people don't realize. And he would tell me, you make it look easy. And I clicked in my head and I rebelled a little bit because people can't recognize if it doesn't look hard. But I had a chip. And I carried that chip. But I'm talking sports now. But in life, I don't want to chip with people. I don't want to look at it that I'm going to do something because I'm going to prove people wrong. Because I'm two different people when I'm on the field and when I'm in life. I'm as competitive as anybody you will ever meet on the field. But in life, I'm one of the least most competitive persons you will ever meet. I thank God for my friends. I thank God for my friends that are here. But do you think I compete with them? Do you think we're in competition? No. When they score a goal, is my goal. And when I score a goal, it's their goal. See, being my friend is not that difficult. But here is the criteria. The criteria is this. You root for me and I root for you. If you don't root for me, then I can't consider you my friend. Does that sound like I got an issue? The other thing is, in my circle of friends, jealousy is not permitted. It's not allowed. If I smell jealousy, it's like, you just told me we're not friends then. Because to me, a friend celebrates your victories and mourns your losses. But if somebody celebrates my losses and mourns my victories, I don't know what kind of friend that is, because I cannot define that as a friend. Because to me, a friend is on your side. And I'd rather have less friends that all root for me than have a big group that works against me. If you caught to this morning's Pastor's Corner, we touched that a little bit. So Brother Paul got a promotion at work this week. He sent me the email of his promotion. That makes me happy. 2 reasons. 1, he got his promotion. 2, that he knows that I will celebrate with him. See, to me, a good thing happened in my life, I want to share it with people that it's going to make them happy, not make them jealous. There's some things I don't post on Facebook because I don't want to make people jealous. Did that come off wrong? That kind of might have come off wrong, didn't it? Even though, here it goes again. There's some things I don't share. Devin's laughing because if you don't see Devin's post, it's like Maple and Ash on Monday. It's like Ocean 44 on Tuesday. It's like Toca Madera on Wednesday. It's like the Mission on Thursday. And then he's going to take it easy and STK on Friday. And then on Saturday, he's got a cabana down at the W. Devin, he's laughing, but Brother Paul goes, I like looking at him. That guy's got a good life. That's what he told me one day. It's like all the time. It's almost like he's doing a fake photo shoot. He goes to places that people go to once a year. Like, of course, it's not every day, but it looks like it is. But there's some things I come across I never post. As I watch Devin Booker's star rise, right? Isn't it rising? Isn't he becoming, if he's not a household name by the next 2 weeks, he'll be a household name. Am I right? And I'm sitting there and someone asked me, you met Devin Booker? I said, yeah, I've met Devin Booker numerous times. I said, in fact, I met him like the first week he got here in Phoenix. And they were asking me, well, what's he like? And what's his personality and different things like that. And now where his star is rising now. And I have a different perspective because I remember when he first got here. He wasn't Devin Booker as you know it. What do they call him now? D-Book. So he wasn't D-Book. Now he's D-Book. You'll hear that, D-Book. Or some people say Book. He was Devin Booker, an unknown. They might have wasted a draft choice on him. That was the thinking. That's not how it's viewed now. But this is, I can't get in all the details, but being around him, he's looking at houses and different things with his agent and things that I had a chance to be present at. You think I could post that on Facebook? I guess I could, but I might end up looking like my son. Some of you might have caught that. I might end up looking like Devin, that I'm at the W. I guess I could have. I'm at the W with Ludacris right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. But here I am. I guess you're posting it now. But I'm just giving an example that if I posted everything, some people would not like that, right? But I do share it with my friends all the time. I'll tell them, I say, hey, guess what? I met so-and-so, and I never feel from them like something of resistance. And I shared this morning as my brother-in-law and Minister Sudge did an event with, am I allowed to say Cheech and Chong? Is that a proper language? You older people would know. But they're working with Cheech from Cheech and Chong. They're doing a project with him, an event. When I was a little boy, I remember we had Cheech and Chong's album, and you opened it up, and it had the it was like a car in there. I won't say everything it had in there, but Dave's not home. Some of you might get it. But I remember Cheech and Chong as a little boy. And there they are, right, working with them. And I went home and cried because I was jealous. Some of you didn't laugh. No. I was like, yeah, all right. Look at them. Great artists. And the reason is Cheech is an art, or he's into art. And he's got a collection. He's known for it. And correct me, he takes it like on tour, his art, right? And it goes throughout, I don't know, it may go throughout the world. He'll display his art. And then Minister Such was actually asked to make the poster design for his art display. Yes. Now, do you think there were other artists that would like to do that? You think it was, well, I need the homie hookup. Was that the reason? No. They chose him because of his talent, his skill. Sister Annette, what am I, the third biggest supporter? Yeah. Somewhere in there. I'll just say I'm top 5. Because Sister Annette's she's the biggest supporter. Well, he'll say they're a team, but we're all a team. I would like to hope, to believe, and that's how I want it to be with us in this house. The different types of people we all are. It's beauty. It's beauty. Thank you, Minister Ross, as he's been really present since he's been back. And he's been up close to all the interactions inside this facility and opening doors, meeting people, discussing details, and just watching. I'm pausing because when he stepped back, I believe that he represented a coming back. Last week we talked about the prodigal son. I don't call you the prodigal son, but we could. But it was like he comes back, and I had thought this. It's going to trigger, not because it's conscious, it's spiritual, of a coming back. So most of you might remember we had a group of Kenyans that were with us, and when we used to all have service together. And through time, and then COVID hit, and they shut down. So they haven't been having service about a year and a half, whatever it is, when COVID hit. The pastor actually went back to Kenya, and he just got back recently. Brother Jeff's close to. I thank God for them, Brother Jeff. So if you don't know, for how long has it been now? Like going on 3 years? He's been living with the Kenyan community this whole time. So, you're part Kenyan now? No, he says no. How about the food? Okay, he said it's good. But he's been with them for these years. And then it's like a coming back. Now, I know, just like anything, there's always wrinkles and spinning plates or juggling. That's just the way life is. But it's a coming back. And he walks in. just talking about you. Not you exactly you, but I'll say this, your tribe. Um, is it coincidence, Minister Ross, do you think? No, what I'm saying is I believe that there's others that will uh, fall in line. And maybe that's not the proper. Come back in the fold. The prodigals. Can we say the prodigals maybe? And that was our teaching this morning about the eldest brother couldn't celebrate. And he didn't go to the celebration. He wouldn't even go, and he hadn't seen his brother. It had to have been years. He didn't even go greet his brother because he was jealous. And he said it's not fair. But instead of being like, I'm celebrating and receiving as whoever comes to the team. But again, the first part is easy to me. We root for each other. We root for each other. We celebrate each other's victories. And we mourn each other's losses. Another gentleman that used to come with us that hasn't been coming for some years, his father passed, which I knew his father, and he reached out to us, not for just, he says, I want to let you know, my dad passed, so Sister Maria made some food, some banana bread, all these, put it together. And we drove over there, me and my son, to his house. We delivered the food, banana bread, and gave our condolences. And I just said, I just want to let you know that we're offering our facility and we're offering our services. And he goes, I think we're going to be doing it in Washington, D.C. He says, that's, where everybody's at. And I said, okay. A few days later, he reaches out and says, I'm going to take you up on that offer. So actually, in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the going home, the celebration for them here and offering our services. But again, it all fits in what we're seeing going on. What we're seeing going on. And as some people have asked questions about, how this works, I'm talking about when people pass, I said, it's a case-to-case basis. Does that make sense? It's not in stone, but without getting into details, it's just the way it works in a sense. If you can root for us, Brother Tony, I say Brother Tony, that you can celebrate our victories and mourn our losses. But if I sense a jealousy, a sabotage, a working against, I'll be like, this is how I said it this morning. I'll go east, you go west, or you go west, I'll go east, or whatever. Well, where's the love? That is love. Because why would we want to live in the same house? And I'm talking about this house. If we're jealous of each other. If we're envious of each other. If we can't root for each other. Your big sale, Sister Belinda. I won't give the numbers. I know it got embellished, huh? Uh, yeah. In escrow, in escrow, that's that's a great accomplishment in this market. Yes, it's if you don't know the market right now, it was easy. You rolled out of bed and that was it, huh? I'm laughing because this is a difficult market for agents right now, and I won't get into all those details. But it's like, do it, get, and I feel the same thing from her towards me, because she helps me in a lot of transactions and phone calls and even emails. Uh, I guess I could just say she's got all my passwords to all uh, my how do I say it, like emails and all the different interactions, and she helps me with them. She checks them and she'll just tell me, oh, I talked to so and this is where it's at. And we're not talking church stuff; it's business stuff. Um, but it really helps me when her doing that for me. But I know that she roots for me, not just doing that, but rooting for my success. And understanding something, all of my success is your success. Exactly right. Who's going to benefit? Everybody's going to benefit because any I look at it this way. How many dollars that come into this house get right put right back into this house? If a dollar comes into this house, it's like 99 cents goes back into this house. If not 100, it goes right back. So it's like all the everything that comes in is going back in. And it's either going to take care of this roof literally, or it's going to go back in upgrades. So first we cover the roof and what goes with it, then the upgrades start. And what happens? So whatever comes in. But it's a team. It's working together. It's like saying, okay, we're gonna push together. We're gonna strive together. We're gonna celebrate together. I guess I say this, I'm already here. But one of the reasons why I would leave on my birthday, so nobody had to be forced to celebrate with me. Now that you're paused there, does that sound? See, in it right now, it's not. It's a non-issue, but it wasn't always a non-issue. I had found out later on that somebody made a mandate, and the mandate was this: pastor will get no birthday presents. I know you're all kind of quiet, but somebody made that decree, if I could call it that, and instructed the congregation, you are not allowed to give him a birthday present. I didn't know this happened. I found out years later. But that feeling that I was feeling was the reason why I didn't want to be in town on my birthday. I wanted to celebrate my birthday with people I knew that could do that without feeling like that. I know some of you have a look on your face, but isn't that sad? Would I consider that a friend? That's not a friend. Now, everyone give me birthday presents? No. You being here is a birthday present. You being happy is a birthday present. And you know what else is a birthday present? That right up there, you can't see on camera. That right there, what do we call it? We call it a stage, we call it a platform, we call it an altar, right? You know what it's really, Minister Such? You know what that's going to be? a piece of art. When it's all done, it's like a sculpture coming together. And I look at the way it's coming out. I'm like, that. I told this to Minister Ross. I stood up there the other day. I stood up on her and I said, this rarely happens. That something that I envision is coming out better than I envisioned. It's like it just the flow of it, the lines of it. It's a piece of art. I know, like, you can't see it, all of you right now, and that's okay. And many of you have told me, I don't get it. I don't see it. Sister Maria told me the other day, I'm starting to kind of see it. She's not being sarcastic. She's just like, I can't. It, and a few people have told me it doesn't make any sense. Well, how many times are you doing a painting that doesn't make sense? And you have to tell someone, just hold on. Wait till I got to shadow this and put some lines and watch the guy on PBS with the thing. That's what we got going on over here. We're going to put I'm that, like I said, it's a birthday present to me. And it's a birthday present that's going to give to you. Yes, Brother Juan, we got to thank you. He's walking out. He's you know how many times we're having a fireside talk, and I'm going to wrap this scripture in here, and I know I'm running out of time here. I don't ask Brother Juan to do something. You know why? Because he does so much already. And I didn't say anything, but he comes up to me the other day. This week, I crossed him. We're past each other, and he said, Pastor, the lawn will be mowed and cleaned by Sunday. And it's like he's telling me in the sense, we got it. Like, I don't know who did it, but Levi did it, okay. But see, Brother Juan, it's almost like I wouldn't have asked him because he does so much, but he's already thinking, I got to get that lawn mowed or get somebody to get it mowed. But I don't ask him for, he works. Sometimes he works from 11 o'clock till 7 or 8 in the morning. And then he'll be over here. There's times he gets off work and he'll come over here. And many, many days. And there's been times I'll be like, hey, you need to go so you can get some sleep. I'll be thinking you need to go home and get some sleep. And I'll even ask him what time you go to bed, because I'm already thinking in my head, where's that clock? But that I won't ask him because he's a giver. And I look at it as a blessing. But you having a good day to me, you being here, is what, and that's what I would ask for. I never ask for gifts. If somebody would say, what do you want? This is what I want. I want you to enjoy your day, because if you don't enjoy your day, how do I enjoy mine? Well, you just do it. You say, no, because I'm concerned that every single one of you, have a good day. And in no way, no how do I want to make your day heavier. I don't want to make your day more difficult. And as I wrap up this scripture in here, what gives me that ability to go through things and to power through things, to look and say with confidence, is he knew me before I was in my mother's womb. Can you get that? Because that's a hard one. But I believe that about you. that he knew you before you were even formed in your mother's womb. And life, I can go down. I can start with Brother Danny, Sister Lexi, Sister Medea, Sister Cindy. I could go down the list. And it hasn't always been easy. Grab one of you randomly. It hasn't always been easy. Life has dealt you some challenges. There's not one person ever that doesn't get pushback. Devin Booker. What's he, 6'6"? 6'7"? Somewhere in there? Help me, somebody? Okay, no one knows. That's okay. He's somewhere in there. Ladies, sisters, help me out. I'm 6'5". Okay, 6'5". That's a good size. He's proportioned. Is he ugly, sisters? No, help me. I'm serious. Okay, thank you. A couple of them said he's not ugly. He has a good look. He's proportioned right. Do you think it's always been easy for him? A lot has been given. Do you think it's always been easy? Did anyone watch the trophy presentation this past week when they won? Nobody watched it? Did anyone know they won? Did anyone see that last game? Okay, thank you. When they handed him the trophy, does anyone recall what they referred to him as? The light-skinned guy. Nobody caught that? You did? Me and one other person. Okay, brother, you caught it. It hurt my heart. It wasn't meant to be derogatory, but that's how they referred to him. The light-skinned guy. See, do you see? Even this guy that has the world by the tail still gets pushback on national TV for the whole world to see and hear. See, you think, man, this man, he makes, I don't know, $20 million a year. He's got multiple houses, and I have seen the houses. I know the car he drives. I see him. I know the car. Beautiful, big old black Mercedes, one of the long ones, something I would drive in the sense that it's an older man's car, in my opinion. But beautiful car. I think he's with somebody well known as a girlfriend here, there, or otherwise. I'm sure there's plenty of females that would go to dinner with him. I'll just say it that way. He's got money. He's got fame. He's got attention. But he's referred to as the light-skinned guy. But I'm saying this as an example of what people do. That's why sometimes, as somebody, like when I started, I was the small guy. I was the light in weight guy. I didn't have, because of various things, I didn't have the look walking out on the field. So I'm just like, hey, you don't think I can do it? Watch me. There was a boy that had it all good. He was the punt, pass, and kick champion of the whole country. He had more victories in punt, pass, and kick than anybody ever. And he was in our opposing school. Everybody was intimidated by him. He was bigger. He was stronger. He was faster. Everybody knew who he was. You could probably ask that area about him, and everyone would know his name. Right, Dad? What did I say? I want him. I want to guard him. That's what I did. I'm like, everyone like, no, give me him. I'm manning up with him. Do you remember that, Dad? And I manned up with him, and he was good. He was good, Brother Danny. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't shy away from him. I said, and I can't give all the details of because of the way it comes out, but that thing that people do to every one of us in one way or everybody, including Devin Booker. Do you see this? Do you get what I'm saying? You're not one of the cool kids if somebody says you're not cool. Right? If you tell me I'm not cool, I'm good with it. Because who defines cool anyways? And if someone says, well, them white tennies, some of you, I saw a lot of you looking down at them. Yeah, well, you guys gave them to me, which they did. I just said I'm going to change it up today.
There you go.
It's the first time. It
looks good.
I'm going to change it up. Is it cool or not cool? It's cool if I say it's cool. I'm serious. If I say it's cool, it's cool.
It is cool. Nice job.
See, you have to get it. See, if you can say, I'm good with it. Whatever shade. Do you know for the longest time, I didn't realize, it didn't click in my head, and I know some of you may not get this, but that I have blue eyes, it didn't click until I got older, and people are like, you got blue eyes. I'm like, what does that mean? Because most of my family, they're very few. I had an uncle with blue eyes, right? And my grandmother had blue eyes. And my daughter now, and the other one has, but it wasn't an issue until people started pointing it out. It was like, whatever. Does it even matter? No, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, and it's just what I'm going to own me, you own you, you do you, I'll do me. We'll celebrate together. And how does that happen? That he knew me in my mother's womb. And if somebody doesn't receive me and they reject me, it's their loss. It's their loss. Well, that sounds arrogant. No, because I believe I can give to somebody's life. If they can't see it, if they can't get it, if they don't want it, that's okay. I would never want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. And I don't want anybody to come to my birthday that doesn't want to come to my birthday. If somebody, no excuses needed. Good, I'm good.
Good with it.
I'll have my cake. And I'll eat it too. Another fallacy. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. I'm just saying, whatever. I'll be the last one to eat. If there's no cake after and I don't get a piece, I'm good. Because what matters is that you're good too. I'm good. You're good. I know that sounds Mr. Rogerish because I have, if you don't pick this up, I have some Mr. Rogers in me.
Come on, Mr.
Listen to my shows. They kind of have some Mr. Rogers in them. Right? Is Mr. Rogers cool?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers is cool. He's cool. Now, some people would say he's not cool. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
A beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you be mine?
Would you be mine?
Won't you be my neighbor?
Could you be? Would you be my neighbor?
My neighbor.
Hello, neighbor. Can you say friend?
Friend.
I tell you, when someone asks, who does your pastor preach like? A lot like Mr. Rogers. I'm saying that because people look at it as an insult. No, it's connecting. Because he connected. You know who he connected with? Are the rejected ones. Children that have handicaps and limitations. And a beautiful thing he had that I want to strive for is the way he could hear and listen. But to me, you know what's cool? Embracing that one that nobody else will embrace. That's cool. That's cool. Embracing. I used to like doing that. Befriending the boy that nobody else wants to befriend. Remember me teaching you that, Marissa? And now you became friends with Jackie. Jackie had no friends. Because I had told my kids the same thing. You see a kid eating alone, invite him. I'm gonna get out of here. Dang, he said it's my birthday. I can preach longer. Did anyone ever do that for you? Or did you ever do that when you seen a boy or a girl that was eating alone? When I moved here from California, I didn't know anybody. I had an older brother, but he was in another school. And the first day I went to school, went to classes, and I think I went to the library at lunch. And I went to the library and I read. I didn't know anybody. All the kids knew each other. Nobody knew I was. I dressed a little different. I looked a little different. Everyone here wore 501s. We didn't wear 501s. We wore corduroys. That's what we wore. So I had corduroys. And, my dress was a little different. We didn't wear the Converse. Everyone wore Converse around here. We didn't wear them. And the second day, a friend, it's a friend today, but my mom will remember, my dad, Mike Curtis. Mike Curtis, I had him in reading. And he tells me, you want to eat lunch with us? And I said, yeah, I want to eat lunch. I want to eat lunch, at least with somebody. And there was a group of boys, and I went in with them. They were all car guys. They were all into cars. They still are. And I messaged him recently. I messaged him like a couple years ago. And I just said, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for being my friend. I want to thank you for befriending me when I didn't know anybody. And eventually I just met all kinds of, by the time I finished high school, it was just all kinds of different people. But that second day, do you think it made a difference for me? The third day, the fourth day. And I can remember we'd go to Big Surf, we go trampoline, we go go-kart riding, we go to the river, go tubing, go all these different things with all these guys that I didn't know prior, didn't know them from Adam, as they would say. But they befriended me. It makes a difference. But nevertheless, God was still with me. And I could think of things that happened that could have went the wrong way, but I look and say, God was there. God didn't make a mistake with any of you. He knew you in your mother's womb. Be good with who you are. And let's be good to each other. God bless you.